Scrum, it's a collection of good practices. It's a collection of good ideas. Every part of Scrum you could use in isolation and they would be of value. But the sum is greater than the value of its parts, right? Scrum put together, when used right, is even more powerful. Now, it is a framework, it is a tool, and just like any problem, you can't use every tool for every problem. So Scrum doesn't fit everywhere, but where it does fit, it works incredibly well. Scrum is intended for solving complex problems where you need a team to do so, i.e. you need multiple people, and you need to get something tangible out the door regularly to validate if you're in fact on the right track of delivering value. And that's what Scrum is about. The common trope is we say the Scrum boiled down to 2 words is a done increment. That's really what we're after in the end of it, is we want a done increment that we can validate if we're doing the right thing and if it is indeed valuable. That's Scrum in a nutshell. And why Scrum was invented, there's a million different stories, but I think the best thing to do is to look at what the authors say. You know, they created it because they were developing software, they were struggling, and over time they were putting together different good practices, and over time Scrum evolved, and that's really where it is from. As for as for product development, Scrum and product development, the big thing that Scrum brought is, one, it was something that you could start with, right? It is a collection of good ideas, and Scrum is to Agile what Apple is to fruit. It is a way of achieving agility, but it's not all agility, right? Scrum gave you something to start with. And when you're lost, when you're like, hey, I have no idea what I'm doing, just having something to get you going is invaluable. And that's what Scrum does. And Scrum also gives you a little kick up the butt and asks for some discipline and saying, hey, guess what? You need to, at the very least, do these events. You need to get a done increment out the door. You need to be talking to your stakeholders at least once a month. And if you do these things, you will deliver value. So Scrum brought a little bit of guidance, something to get you going to start with, and a little bit of discipline, which sometimes can be hard to do, especially when you're in a very creative environment where you're just going nuts, you're letting your mind flow, but we still need to get something out the door to validate these fantastic, cool ideas we have, because they're fantastic and cool to us, but they might not be fantastic and cool to our potential customers, right, or potential stakeholders. And why would I recommend Scrum to others? I recommend Scrum to others because, again, it's a good place to start. If I'm not sure exactly what's going to work for you, Scrum has some good stuff in it. And if we try doing it for a while, we'll do it for a couple of sprints. And when we do that, we tend to find problems arise. Some of them are problems that were always there. We're just making them visible, and now we can deal with them. After a while, we start seeing other problems, and maybe those problems are because Scrum isn't quite the right fit. Okay, what part of Scrum isn't quite the right fit? Maybe that one. Maybe we can stop doing that. We're no longer doing Scrum. That's okay. We're still practicing agility. And we're getting value delivered. That's the important part, is value delivery. Scrum is just the method of getting there. But sometimes what we find is Scrum is unearthing more and more of these issues and forcing us, kind of holding us accountable to improving over time. At least once per sprint, so at least once every month or less, as in the Scrum Guide. And if we keep doing that, even if they're just small changes, a 1% improvement once a month, over a year, that's a 12% improvement. Depending on your product, that could be a lot of money. That could be a lot of improvement as that accumulates over time. And that's the power of Scrum, right? It gives you something to do, something to start with, something tangible to hold on to, forces you to hold yourself and others accountable, and to make sure you get something out the door a month or less, and you can check if it's valuable or not. All right, thank you very much for watching. And if you like what you saw and you want to hear more about what I've got to say in the future on similar questions, or if you have a question yourself, please reach out to me on LinkedIn. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me. You can also email me at oscar.styf@pragmaticshift.com. Please do like the video, share it with others if you think they might benefit from it, or follow my profile to see stuff as they come out as well. And I would love to be your Scrum trainer. So please find my content on pragmaticshift.com. You can find the courses I've scheduled for the year, or on scrum.org.com as well. Look forward to seeing you in my classroom soon.